Concert photography is one of the coolest jobs that there is out there, but do you know how to get your foot in the door? No one hands out arena passes to beginners, so today I'm going to be breaking down how to get your first gig as a beginner. I'll show you how to get access to shows, take pro level photos in low light, and turn this into a long-term career. My name is Horst Talker, and this is the Concert Photography Masterclass. Let's get right into it. Alright, part 1, how to land your first concert photography gig. To begin, you want to start off extremely small and build a portfolio. You're not jumping straight into shooting Drake or Taylor Swift, and that's completely fine. You need a portfolio first. Go to small venues. I'm talking bars, open mic nights, local festivals, or your local club in your area. P.S. I have a hospitality company based out of Philadelphia that hosts events all the time, so if you want to build your portfolio, hit me up in the Instagrams. On Instagram. Basically, you want to get into anywhere that allows you to bring a camera without requiring any sort of credential. Shoot a couple of bands for free and make them look good. Your job as a concert photographer is to make them look good. So if they have 10 fans, make them look like they have 10,000. If your photos make them look bigger than they actually are, you win in the long run. Another tip is to check Facebook events and Instagram to see if there's any local shows around your area, and DM the artist to see if you can shoot the show for them for free. Alright, so now you found the person to hit up and you don't know what to even say to them. So this is how you could reach out to secure your first official gig. People tend to overcomplicate this, so please keep this simple. Basically, after you found the contact point, by hitting up the artist, by hitting up the manager, by hitting up the band, by hitting up the venue, just use a simple template to get you in the door. Hey, I love your music and would love to shoot your next show. Here's my work. Obviously, make sure you have some work in there and send in a portfolio link, a professional portfolio link. It can be your Instagram, sure, but a proper website looks even better. Let me know if you need visuals. That's it. That's all you got to say. Another bonus tip is to comment and engage on their content that is already on their platform. This basically gets your foot in the door before you even reach out and lets you know that, hey, look, like, make sure you know who I am before I reach out to you and you think I'm a rando. Let's say you tried everything. You reached out to everybody that you know that's involved with this tour, but you still can't get your foot in the door to shoot this show. So this is a third option to get yourself in the door. You could either shoot for a small blog or a local magazine. Those guys are always looking for photographers. Email the venue's PR team, or if you really want to play a risky, just show up with a camera and act like you belong. That's the riskiest one. Do not recommend. You didn't hear that from me. Alright, so you got the gig and now you're at the show but don't know how to shoot. You don't know the right camera settings, you don't know the right gear, you don't know how to edit your photos. So I'm going to teach you a quick step-by-step guide for each of those problems. Let's start from the beginning. Camera settings. Concerts are extremely low light environments that require you to know the settings of your camera like the back of your hand. The back of your hand. They're unpredictable, they're dark, you're running into people, there's so many people screaming, there's loud music, you don't know what to do. Fear not, I'm here, I got your back. You want to focus on 3 settings. I'm talking shutter speed, aperture, and ISO, the camera's basic settings. You want to keep your shutter speed between 1/200th of a second and 1/500th of a second to freeze that movement. Of course, the faster your shutter speed, the more sharp your images are going to be, but without cranking up the ISO, it's really difficult for you to boost that shutter without losing light. What I really recommend is that you get a fast lens as well. I'm talking f1.8, f2.8 to really get as much light in as possible. And for your ISO, it all depends on the camera you have. Between 1600 and 6400 is kind of the sweet spot, so you don't have too much grain in your photos and you can still see what's going on. Autofocus is also another problem that is extremely difficult to manage during concerts. So use back button focus or use manual focus to really dial in your focus during your shoots. Obviously, these settings are interchangeable and they're not like the exact copy and paste settings, but it's a good base to get you started and get your foot in the door and kind of play around with once the show actually starts. So the moral of the story is dial down your manual settings on how to shoot photos in the first place before you even get into the show. Concert photography isn't just snipping and snapping random shots. It's actually about knowing composition and how to shoot. You want to capture emotion. I'm talking facial expressions, hand gestures, and mid-jump moments to capture some powerful images. The best photographers only don't capture the artist, but they capture the emotion of the artist and what they're feeling. The next thing is angles. You want to know your angles and how they make the subject look. For example, lower angles make the subject look real big and strong and powerful. Higher angles do the opposite. And the third thing is don't just shoot the artist. Get crowd reactions, get the venue, get the overall aura of the entire place. Again, your job as the concert photographer is to show the actual events and how they make the audience feel, not just showing the artist and getting a cool shot of the artist. All right, so now you're done with the show and now you're in the editing process. Editing is where half of the magic happens. You can have the world's shittiest photo, but the edit will fix it all. But yes, for my concert photos, I always start with my presets, which by the way, are on my website. So if you want to help support the channel, if you want to help support me and what I'm doing, go on my website, harshtalker.com, take a look at my presets and apply them. They're on sale right now for $20, I believe. 6 presets, and these presets are the only presets that I've used my entire career. So every shoot that I've done, every concert that I've done, every wedding that I've done has been with these 6 presets. So again, focus on the editing. You learn how to use color wheels. You learn how to use the curves. You learn how to dial in exposure meters. Learn how to color correct. And again, my Lightroom presets will help you with all that. They're a great starting point for anybody who's trying to get to learn. Use code MASTERCLASS for 10% off your order. All right, so you've edited the photos and now it's time to deliver to the client. And here's how to deliver photos and build a career off of concert photography. If I had to say one thing about delivering photos in the concert photography / nightlife scene, is that fast turnaround means everything. When I used to work for a production, they had me have videos and a picture set ready by the next morning. The workflow is simple. Pick 10 to 20 photos that you really mess with, import them into Lightroom, edit them quickly using my presets, and deliver them in high quality. There's a lot of different delivery methods, right? We have Google Drive, we have Dropbox, but the one I recommend the most is PixieSet. It's the most professional looking, it's the most client-oriented software that there is, and it's just super simple. Highly recommend pixieset.com. I'm not sponsored, just yeah, I wanted to shoot that out there. Now you're wondering how to get rehired. If the band, if the production, if the venue, if the artist loves your work, ask to go on tour or just shoot multiple shows for them. This will just further build that relationship that you have with the point of contact. It's just a snowball effect from there. Another thing that I really want to stress is be professional. Understand the different types of access that you have while shooting these shows. Don't go backstage if you're not allowed to. Don't go on stage if you're not allowed to. I've had multiple issues in the past where I thought I could go somewhere and I'm not allowed, and then I get kicked out and then I get in trouble. Just be easy to work with, go with the flow, understand the rules and regulations that you have, and it'll be easy from there. Another tip for you to get rehired is tag the managers, tag the band, tag the artist, tag the venue, tag the fan pages of the artist in the posts. Everybody will repost it. More eyes will see your post. Again, it's another snowball effect. A lot of snowball effects today. A lot of them. Okay, so you built your portfolio, you shot your first concert, you have a good relationship with the artist, and now you want to get paid. How do you make that happen? So one of my main jobs is to make people understand what certain clients need and what they want out of certain services. You have to be empathetic, you have to understand what they need, and you have to see what you can provide to them. So let's dive really deep into what each of these people that we talked about earlier need. So let's start off with the artist and band first. They need promo content, they need visuals, they need social media content for their upcoming tours, for their upcoming shows, so they could sell them in the first place. This might include pictures of the show, this might include BTS content of their tour / show. I'm sure you can get creative with it, but the main point is this involves helping the artist look good in the general public. All right, so now we're on to the venues and promoters. They need high quality shots and videos to advertise future events. You want to show the production the venue might have, the lighting, the sound, the behind the scenes staff, the food options, the beverage options, the bars. You want to make them look like, hey, this is a cool spot to be at for a concert. So we covered if you want to shoot the artists and bands and the venue. Now let's go into the magazines and blogs. Magazines and blogs are pretty self-explanatory. They need press images so they can get interviews with these artists. That's literally it. They want the content so they can get interviews with artists so they can be posted on bigger pages. And the fourth and least common way that I really see photographers make money from concert photos is by selling them to fans. They want exclusive high quality prints that nobody else has, right? If you're shooting an artist that everybody wants to see and you have a sick shot with him, you can sell those prints for a good amount of money. And I can promise you these big artists have big fan bases that there's one or two that are definitely willing to pay a good buck for a good picture. So those are the ways you can make money for the certain type of client that you are working with. But now the question is, how much do you charge? This topic is extremely debated and not a lot of people know where to go from this, but I'm going to provide you kind of a roadmap to where you can go. Keep in mind, this depends on location, your experience, and just the clients that we talked about earlier in the beginning. So if you're a beginner and you're just starting to build a portfolio, like I said, either shoot for free or extremely cheap. I'm talking that $0 range to $150 for a show. And I know it's nothing crazy, but this will snowball over time. Again, a lot of snowballs. Say you're not a beginner, you've been doing this for a while, and you're at an intermediate level. I would charge between $150 to $500 $500. This is for local gigs, local bands, local venues, maybe a small festival here and there just to get your foot in the door and develop that relationship with the client. And now we're talking the big bucks. For a pro level who's been doing this for a while and who knows what they're doing, I'm charging between $500 to $2,000 just for a show. This includes a tour, a big artist, a major festival. And a bonus tip is make sure you factor in everything into how much you're charging. Things like how far you're traveling, or what gear you have, or even just your editing time and the turnaround time. Like we said, fast turnaround time equals more gigs. And that is the Concert Photography Masterclass. Start local, build your portfolio, expand your network like crazy, be professional, and start getting paid. If you want a step-by-step guide on how I edit my concert photography photos, let me know in the comments. And make sure you check out my presets at my website, hersheltalker.com. And if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like, please subscribe, please comment. It helps me out a lot more than you think. And yeah, good luck. DM me on Instagram if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, or if you want to shoot for my company. And I'll see you later. Take care.